always ask Ric Flair. You know, Ric's always going, woo, woo. And I'm like, Rick, are your trunks too tight or what, right? I'm more like a hoe. Gotcha, Jake. How's everybody doing today? Good? Enjoying the Comic-Con?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cover.
All right. So Jake the Snake is known for his 2 stints in the WWF, renamed to the WWE. Throughout his prestigious career, he's known for his intense and cerebral promos, his dog charisma, his extensive use of psychology in his matches, and his invention and use of the DDT finishing move. Which was named the coolest maneuver of all time by the WWE.
Duh.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the American Patriot, winner of the first ever Royal Rumble match, heavyweight champion, and WWE legend.
No, it's Legion.
Long did it?
Yeah, that's a heck of an intro for you guys. Huh?
He's a legion, not a legend.
Legend, legendary legend.
Something sore on your ass.
I had that treated, how dare you? All right, so how did you guys get started in the World Wrestling Federation?
Thanks, Jake.
I always wanted to be a mass murderer.
Best laid plans.
Yeah, and you know, there's still a chance for that. You know, especially as I look out at this crowd today.
Yeah, don't let your dreams be dreams, man.
No, man. I hated wrestling growing up, so figure that out. That's it.
You're killing me.
Yes.
Read the book.
It's a short story. Myself, folks, I actually started wrestling up in Dallas, Texas with Fritz Von Erich. Everybody know the Von Erichs? The great Von Erichs. I played my college ball for Southern Methodist up there in Dallas, and Fritz opened up the door to professional wrestling. I started off as Big Jim Duggan with short hair and clean shaven, and that didn't work. So I wore a mask for a while, and that didn't work.
What was your name when you wore a mask?
The Convict.
Convict. Wait. A mask.
Yeah, I wore a mask with
and cover all that up.
I put a little siege on my mask for the Convict, you know.
Siege, that was good.
Why'd you put those ears on your mask? I said, they're not ears, they're seeds for the Convict. So that didn't work. Then I went as Wild Man Duggan for a short time. And
that was your best. He didn't even have to dress up for that.
Ow!
Ask him what he wore.
I was Hacksaw for about 35 years.
So what's the legend behind the 2x4?
Well, actually, you know, back in the old days, it was a much different business than sports entertainment than it is today. You know, back in, just getting back and forth in the ring was very dangerous. The people would spit at you and punch you and kick you. And
shoot at you.
Yeah, I mean, get maced sometimes.
I got shot at.
Yeah. Too bad they missed. But anyway, just getting back and forth was very tough. So I was out in West Texas, like Lubbock, Amarillo, and I'm sitting back in the dressing room all covered with louis and bruises, and my mentor, Bruiser Brody, comes in. He looks at me, the Brody, right? Yeah. Brody comes in, he looks at me, he goes, Duggan, he says, if you carry something to the ring, carry something you can use. Forget those feathered boas and sequin robes, right? And I looked down, I'm like, well, here's a piece of wood. I came out yelling at that board. It was like parting the Red Sea. Them people scattered. I got to the ring, I'm like, this is great. But I joke, I said, one time I got this big giant splinter in my thumb, you know? And I went, oh God. It's a wrestling story.
I didn't think it was a joke.
Oh, here's the joke.
Wow. That's my friend, right?
You can
Take
tell
a lot
we're
for
friends.
granted there. Jake and I go back 35 years.
We go too far back. In fact, well, never mind. Can't tell that one.
So, how did you guys train to get into the wrestling scene?
A lot of strip joints. No. That's the reason I asked you if I knew you.
I don't have anything to throw at you. I don't think you could afford me.
Ooh.
I'll chip in.
All right, let's get her up on the main stage right now.
It's great. So training, how did you guys actually physically train to get in shape for the WWF?
Well, some guy, obviously in the WWF, you look at guys like the Ultimate Warrior, who had a great body, very physique, was very important to him. But then there was other guys like Earthquake and One Man Gang that were just huge, giant men, strong, powerful men. So some guys spent a lot of time at the gym, some guys spent a little time at the gym, and some spent none time at the gym.
But you guys brought the personality, so how did y'all's personality evolve over time when y'all were on TV?
Gotten worse.
Well, that's very important to find the right character. Also, is going to be a wrestler. You know, I knew right off the bat I wasn't going to be handsome Jimmy Duggan, so I had to find something to work. So, you want a character that's just an extension of your personality. You know, as we joke about Macho Man all the time. You know, Macho, God bless him, what you saw on TV was the way Macho Man was. I mean, he was always that intense. The joke was, Macho would go to McDonald's, he'd be like, "I'll have a milkshake, fries, and a burger. Oh yeah, something, yeah." Macho, turn it down just a little. It's way down, Duggan. It's down. Well, Macho was wound a little tight. But I think you did a deal with a snake when they brought the Cobra in and bit.
Let me tell you what a psycho bastard he was.
That's how a great story starts. Just like that.
All right. So there I was, minding my own business, being quiet in the locker room, because that's what I did. Nothing fell yet. All right.
That's true.
So Macho comes in, he's like, "So, we're gonna do the thing tonight, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I hear, bro." He goes, "We need to talk first." "About what?" "About the snake, What about the snake?" He goes, "Are you absolutely sure it's been fixed?" "Macho, it's a king cobra. If it wasn't fixed, it would kill you." "That's what I'm talking about. There's been a lot of strange things happen in the WWF. Everybody wants the Macho Man's Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship title. Maybe you want it bad enough to put the real deal on me." I'm thinking to myself, is this guy joking? And I look at him, I'm like, he's not joking. Because he was frothing.
Okay, can I interject real quick? This is because Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, went over to Macho, who's wound kind of tight anyway. He's like, "Macho, I'm not sure they can get all the poison out of a snake."
That's your friends.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, he's like, "Brother, we gotta take care of some business before we go out there." "What is that?" He goes, "Well, how about the snake bites you first?" "Are you nuts? Why in the hell would I let us?" "Oh, you got a problem with that, do you?" "Well, you and I are fixing to have a bigger problem, because we're fixing to go toe-to-toe, head-to-head, till one of us don't get up." I'm like, "Dude, man, it's just a damn thing. Then let it bite you." Fine. So I went and got the damn cobra out, man. I was pissed off, man. I got the snake out of the bag, pulled my pant legs up, and got it over there, and it bit me, and he's like, "Okay, don't move, don't take no pills, don't take no elixir, don't take no antidotes, no vitamins, no..." He just listed. I'm like, what the hell is all that shit? I got to try some of those antidotes, though. Can I eat both antidotes? No. Anyway, so finally he's like, "Just sit right there, don't move." Fine. So I sit there, and after about 10 minutes, he goes, "Did that mess with your head? I'm like, no, but you are. So he says, okay, I think we'll do it. I'm like, gee, that's great. So he says, one more thing though. He goes, when he lets go, bring him back to me because I may want you to hook him up again. Really? Okay. So I was being a little bit upset. So when it came time for me to hook him up, I tied Macho in the ropes and turned my back so he couldn't see what I was doing. And I slapped the dog shit out of that snake. You know? That snake all of a sudden was like, you know, he's ready to eat the world. And of course he bit him, and bit him some more, and bit him for a little bit longer. And Vince is getting upset because in the ring, you know you're in trouble if the people get really quiet. Because that means somebody's fixing to come in that ring with you. When the fans get real quiet, that's danger time. As long as you're yelling, screaming, throwing stuff, you're fairly safe, sort of. But if they get quiet, you better start looking around because somebody's coming and they won't be alone. So they've gotten quiet and Vince is panicking. So he sends Roddy Piper to the ring. Well, Piper is scared to death of the snake. So Piper gets from where I'm at to that wall away. He's like, get the snake off of me, Vince said so. What? Get the snake off of me, Vince said too. Okay. So I grab the snake and I pull, and it pulls back. And I pull, and it pulls back. Holy
He struck the Macho's arm this
time. He's still chewing. And Macho is making the coolest faces. I told him, I said, dude, you're doing a great job selling this. And so about that time, Vince sends Elizabeth to the ring. Well, that was the worst thing that could happen to Piper because she's actually got about 5-6 feet away. Because she's scared her husband's dying, you know. And she's like, Vince, get the snake off. I was like, tell Vince I'm fucking trying to. So finally, when the snake let go, I remember what Macho Man said. So I picked the snake up and I walked back over to Macho. Hey, Macho, get that son of a bitch away from me. Yeah, it was fun. That's my favorite moment. I mean, if I'm at home with a girl and maybe, you know, I'm 63 years old, there's problems sometimes. If I'm having a little problem with my snake, I just turn that video on and boom, I'm ready to go. I'm quite excited.
I'm sure that makes a lot of people happy.
Yeah, especially this guy
story.
here. Good times, good times.
All right, Hacksaw, what is your? You can't really beat that one.
No, thanks very much, folks.
What's your favorite?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow, man. Wait a minute.
After following that one, I think Andre the Giant. We got to tell an Andre the Giant story. You know,
my God.
And Andre, one of the best ever. Andre, God bless him. Yes, sir. And there's been a lot of 7-footers, but there was only one Andre the Giant. You know, he could actually put a hen egg through his ring. But this, you know, it's amazing the worldwide appeal of professional wrestling. And one of our hot markets, of course, is Japan. So we're over there in Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome, and you know, over in Japan, personal space doesn't exist. If there's, you know, this much room, they put 10 more people in between us, right? So anyway, we're at this fancy Dan hotel, and we're going up to like the 70th floor, and it's Jake, myself, DiBiase, and Andre the Giant gets on the elevator, right? And all of a sudden, just before the doors close, about 15 Japanese guys, they all pile in the elevator. So now we're all jammed in there, and off we go. We're going up to floor number 70. All of a sudden, Andre starts, starts laughing really, really hard. He keeps laughing and laughing. Finally, you look up to Andre and goes, Andre, why are you laughing? Because I'm farting. Said about that time, you could see the green gas coming up. You know?
That's lovely.
Me and Jake and DB DiBiase are up on our toes trying to stay north of it, you know. Those poor Japanese guys were down low. They're really suffering.
They were melting.
And finally, we're getting up to floor 67, floor 68, and Andre's still laughing as hard as he can be. And we're like, Andre, why are you still laughing?
I'm still farting. A giant can actually fart for over 40 seconds. I know this because Andre sat on me one night and did just that. And once he did move, I had like a birthmark on my shoulder. It was from wine. He liked wine a lot. Jim had a really
That
nice
was one of
experience.
Jake's better matches, too.
Jim had a nice experience with Andre.
Yeah. Well, I had been wrestling for many years here in the South, and we do Superdome shows. We do really big shows. And I went up to New York in Madison Square Garden. There's like 20,000 people, and I'm wrestling Andre the Giant. And Bobby Heenan is his manager. Andre, boom, he hits me and knocks me down. I'm laying on the mat. And Bobby Heenan goes, "Give him the mudslide, Andre. Give him the mudslide." And I'm laying there going, geez, you know what? I've never heard of a mudslide. And Andre comes over, he just sits on me. I'm like a human suppository. I go right up and mudslide. So then no matter what else is going on in the match, I'd be beating the devil out of me. I hear mudslide. I roll out of the ring. Oh!
Get the hell out of town, man.
But especially guys with long hair. Jake and I, guys with long hair, Andre used to punch it, knock you down. And you'd go down and the hair would go on the mat, and he'd step on either side of your head, step on your hair, and then he'd grab your arms and he'd pick you up. So it's a
rip your hair out.
way to have your hair pulled, you know. And Jake used to come back to the dressing room going, I hate when he does that. I hate when he does that.
What are you gonna do?
You get on the airplane, I'd be next to a businessman. The guy goes, I had a rough day at the office. Brother, let me tell you.
You'll be here, bitch.
I just got done with a giant. He still had villagers in his teeth from the night before.
All right, so now we're going to open up the floor to questions. So if you have anything that you'd like to ask, I will head your way.
Okay, this is going to both of you. My dad and I are real big fans of yours, but I only have one question. Are you guys retired, or what are you doing now?
I'm real tired.
Retired.
Oh, retired. Yes. I don't wrestle anymore. I still do quite a bit. It may not look like it right this second, but I save up for that moment. No, I don't wrestle in the ring anymore. I simply can't do it. 2 discs removed out of my neck. Both hips have been replaced. Part of my left foot was removed. Wrist reconstruction, compound fracture right arm. Broke my sternum twice. I never counted broken ribs or broken fingers or anything like that. Yeah.
And for me, young lady, I'm wrestling this Friday night in Providence, Rhode Island, and the young boy's going down. Hey! People say, Hacksaw, you still wrestle? I said, well, I still go to the ring. I don't know if you call it wrestling anymore, but I still go to the ring, yes.
He still connects with that 2x4.
2x4 still works.
Yes.
If you could team up with anybody, past or present, who would you team up with?
Besides each other.
Well, actually, Jake and I have teamed up quite a bit with each other over the years.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah, but we took on...
The girls, that girl ran. Your wife's here, isn't she? I'm so sorry. Oh, God, I forgot.
Yeah, but we have, Andre the Giant and Rick Rude.
That's what we'll call her, Andre. Yeah, we wrestled a couple of times as tag team partners. I never liked tag matches. I just, there's...
We're singles. Some guys like Bret Hart, and some guys are the Nasty Boys are just a natural tag team. I think Jake and I are mainly singles. And they just teamed us up once in a while.
Right. Whether we wanted to or not. But if I had a chance, I'd probably want to tag up with Bray Wyatt. Actually, I challenged Bray to a match, a stripper's pole match. Yeah, I'm talking serious.
Well, my deal is, I wrestled The Rock's grandfather, I wrestled The Rock's father, and I make it to Rock at WrestleMania. Oh! No chance in hell.
Yes, what's your question?
I have two questions. One is for my friends. Want to ask you this: what was your most favorite match of your WWE career?
That's so unfair because I was coming along at a time where I was wrestling the best of the best. There were so many greats. Every night we were stepping into the ring with a legend. So to pick out one of those is just impossible because just a handful of names would be Ricky Steamboat, Ted DiBiase, Andre the Giant, Earthquake, and here's these guys one after another just so unbelievably good. So no.
Yeah. Now for me, a little different. Like you said, the guys you get to wrestle with is the golden age of wrestling. DiBiase, Hogan, Jake. But for me, I got a little different deal. I'm from a small little town in upstate New York. And as a kid, my dad would bring me down to New York City to Madison Square Garden to the circus. So as an adult, to pull up in front of Madison Square Garden, see Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Andre the Giant, was a thrill of a lifetime.
Absolutely.
To be a main event at the Garden as we have was a thrill, but to be in there with Andre was a double thrill. And no matter what profession you're in, you sell out the Garden.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And my second question is, how do you guys feel about the WWE women make their first history for the pay-per-view WWE Evolution?
I think it's awesome. I really do. I'm so happy and so proud for the women. They've worked so hard for so long. They've taken abuse for so long. They've been judged unfairly for so long. So welcome to the real world, girls. That's what we get treated like all the time.
Yeah, and it's been quite a transition. Back in the day, a lady wrestler was a lady wrestler. Scary Sherry, Velvet McIntyre. Yeah. Now they're all young divas. A little change in the business, but I think they're probably more, and the guys also are probably more athletic.
Yeah.
Probably more professional.
Yeah.
But I don't think they quite had the creativity that the older group had.
Dang right.
Here's two questions. One, who was your greatest rival?
I think my biggest rival has always been myself. No, seriously. I had a lot of struggles that I went through, and that was always my toughest fight, was dealing with what was inside me.
For me, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and Ted, I said, Ted may be one of the greatest technical wrestlers in the sport, but he can't fight a lick. Oh! That's the deal. People say, Hacksaw, what's your favorite move? I said, I kick and punch.
Who would you fight for present wrestlers?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Who would you fight for present wrestlers?
Current wrestlers, who's fight?
Same as before.
Yeah, I think with The Rock too, right?
Trump.
How y'all doing?
Good, brother.
Good, man. I'm originally from Greensboro, North Carolina.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it happens. Good old Crockett territory mainstay.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you have any fond memories of Greensboro working there.
I do. It was a horrible, horrible, horrible night. Actually, what happened was, in my business, you first come into a territory, they're going to put you against somebody that you can go out and have a good win against, And I was so excited to be brought into Charlotte. I knew that I was going to get a big push. I was just really jacked, man, really happy. Went out, there's so many people, I couldn't believe it. It was the biggest crowd I'd ever been in front of. And unfortunately, I was wrestling Ivan Koloff, who is an absolute animal. He is a machine. Now, his job was to go out there and make me look good, okay?
It's a big job.
Yeah, it was. It's hard to make somebody look good if they're throwing up, because he got me in the ring and kicked my ass by having me kick his ass. You know, he blew me up so bad I was throwing up. It was horrible. I had to crawl back to the locker room, and I'm thinking, and I won. Holy crap. Yeah, it was a horrible night. Thanks for that memory, jerk. I think I'd like to go home now.
No way.
I'm Jonathan from Puerto Rico.
All right.
My question is for Jake and then for Hacksaw.
Yeah.
Jake, what does it feel like wrestling with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 2? And Hacksaw, what was it like to win the very first Royal Rumble match?
Go ahead.
Well, you know, back then I don't think anybody realized how big the Royal Rumble would become, where it's one of the top 4 WWE pay-per-views. And of course, I don't think anybody realized how big the WWE would become. It's a worldwide powerhouse. I always joke with the NFL guys, I'm like, world champions? Where in the world do you fellas go? I mean, wrestling goes all over the world. And so back then, you know, it was just another show. We were on the road back. Jake was probably over 100 days straight. I went 54 days without a day off. So we just did that show, got done, got in the car, and drove off.
Louder.
Yeah, it was just another show. I didn't realize it's probably the biggest feather in my cap that I have in professional wrestling. And but back then, boom, we just got done and hit another show. Yes. One of his better answers.
Question right here.
Hey, you guys, how you doing? Big fan, grew up watching you guys. So how would you both compare the way that the WWF was from when like you were there, the talent, the way the business was, compared to kind of how it is now, like with the WWE and the new talent and the way the business kind of goes now?
You know, I really feel sorry for the guys out there today. I really do. And the reason I do is because they missed the opportunities that I had to be in the ring with some of the greatest stars of all time, to learn from some of the greatest of all time, to be given the opportunity to actually learn my trade. The guys today are taken into a school, and then in 6 months or less than a year, they're thrust out into the spotlight and they're told sink or swim. So they've got to go out there and perform at a level they have no idea what it is, this level, and they don't really know what the hell they're doing because they've not experienced it yet. I really feel for them. I know this for a fact that the guys today are better athletes than we were. One of the things that helps them is they're half the damn size we are, you know. Heavyweight my ass, man. You don't weigh over 200 pounds. So it's a little easier to fly when you're under 200. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Up on the top rope, not a chance.
Yeah, I get nosebleeds.
That's why I still have all my original body parts.
Yeah. I don't.
They come in the original package. But you know what? A lot of folks don't realize is how competitive professional wrestling is. You know, a lot of young kids this afternoon came up and they said, my son wants to be a wrestler. Do you have any advice? Yeah, get golf clubs. That's where the money's at. Yeah. And a lot easier on the body. But I tell kids, remember, you know, this year there's 1,500 NFL football players in the NFL. There's 600 NBA basketball players playing. There's 100 WWE wrestlers. It's a television show. It's more competitive than sports. And it's just not kids from America. You got kids from Japan, Australia, Europe, and it's a very, very competitive business. And I love people go, well, you guys are all good friends, aren't you? Oh, yeah.
Here, take my money, please.
We're really good friends. As any other profession, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Sure. And you know, back in the day, a lot of folks try to compare us to sports teams. Our generation of guys, we were more like a rock and roll band than you were in a sports team. A different city every night, different country. It was a lifestyle more than a job.
I wrestled Ricky Steamboat 93 days straight. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, in different cities. You know, you'd do LA at 2 o'clock, San Diego at 7. The next day you'd wake up in LA, you fly into Omaha for a 2 o'clock show, and then you're in Des Moines, Iowa for 7. You know, and it got so bad, after about 50 days, I had to fly my wife in because I'd lost the ability to speak. I was so beat up and brain dead, basically, that I get to the counter and I just open my wallet, dump money and credit cards out there, and I'm like, here, just take whatever you need, man.
And that had nothing to do with what was happening in the ring.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Question right here.
Jake, your documentary, congratulations on that whole transformation.
Appreciate it,
Wonderful.
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 7 years now, man.
Congrats, man.
7 years sober is unbelievable, man.
Congratulations.
I never thought that would happen.
Yeah, good job.
And I want to encourage anybody out there right now, if you're struggling, or you know somebody that's struggling, stop by my table. Let's talk for a couple minutes. Maybe I can give you a couple pointers. Because let me tell you something. I've been to a few jails and certainly quite a few rehabs. And I never met anybody in either place that said, you know what, man, when I was growing up, I wanted to become a junkie and an alcoholic. No, nobody says that. But it does happen. And once you get there, it's really hard to get out of it. You know, and there's a lot of misconceptions on both ends of this. You know, a lot of people think, well, you guys are out partying all the time, having a great time. No, I wasn't. I was absolutely miserable. Miserable. I hated myself. Then why didn't you do it? Because I'm an addict. You know, addiction is not a game, man. It's an ugly disease. It's a disease that rips apart more families than anything else. So it's time for us to start helping each other. Diamond Dallas Page is a lot of things, but I'll tell you one thing he is. He's a brother of mine because he saved my life. Now, why would anybody in his right mind invite two drunken junkies like Scott Hall and Jake Roberts to move in with you? Are you nuts? Yeah, he was, but we survived. And I thank him for that. Yes.
And then, Hacksaw, you and Piper were the best thing about Legends House.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. So my question is, was there ever plans for a season 2? And if there ever is, would you two do it?
That Legend House, I don't know if folks got to watch it. They put 8 of us in a mansion out in Palm Springs, and Roddy Piper, God bless him, was my roommate. So I could get away with anything. I'd blame it on Piper. But yeah, they were talking about doing a season 2, but they were talking about using the Generation X guys.
I got a question for Hacksaw. About 20 years ago in WCW, when the NWO takeover was happening, you were one of the few faces who was repeatedly getting their ass kicked, along with Diamond Dallas Page. And can you tell us how? Well, Rod, can you tell us kind of how that environment was? Because what we saw on TV was just, you know, total takeover NWO, but how was it really at that time, and how did that feel?
Well, I was happy when WCW first started off. It was great and stuff. But then once Vince Russo came in, I really had a conflict with Vince Russo. And like you said, he used me. They tried to use me to build everybody. I got beaten by everybody. They just fizzled on the vine, and I do the job 1, 2, 3 in the middle. The guy get his hand raised and walk out of the ring. I stand up and give him a ho! The plays at ho, we USA. So I come back to the dressing room. I said, "You can't kill me off. Beat me every night. You can't kill me off." But yeah, so I wasn't really happy with that. That's why they even went to the Team Canada deal. They were trying to pressure me out of my contract. Like I said, it's a business, much more than what you see on television. But it's the way I feed my family, and it's been a great business for me. You know, I've been with my wife for over 35 years. Thank you. Unlike Jake, I never had to go to the rehab for booze or drugs, although we did party a lot together, brother. But, so it's been a...
You just blamed it on me, you know, me and Piper, you know.
But it's been a great business for me. I put 2 daughters through school, so I wasn't going to let Vince Russo, you know, push me out of my contract. So I just put up with that. So a lot of times, as any job, they put you in a job you don't like, you got to put up with it. Grin and bear it.
Okay, you guys all had big personalities, but who you felt had the biggest ego?
Favorite player.
Totally out.
No. So, yeah, you know, it's only human nature. Guys work so hard to get to a position, and all of a sudden you're on TV and you're making money. You got action figures. it's only human nature to get the big head. But most guys come back to reality and don't believe their own press. You know, some guys, you know, believe their own press. They're, woo! Well, Magnum TA. Remember old Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels. Well, Shawn's now a reborn Christian, so he's a changed guy.
Right.
You know, I mean, of course, a lot of guys like me and Jake, you know, so
I don't care.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you for all those years of entertainment.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I got a question for Jake the Snake.
Yes.
Did anybody ever refuse to fight you because you had a live snake?
Yes.
And if you didn't mention it, in
Yes, both my ex-wives. I'm sorry, all three of my ex-wives. Yeah, there were several guys that wouldn't wrestle me because of the snake, you know.
It had nothing to do with the snake.
Okay, whatever.
It was the DDT they didn't want to
true.
take.
But I think the funniest was probably Kamala, you know. He was terrified of that snake, and that big man could jump and he could move when he wanted to. God bless him too, man. Yes.
All right, this is for both of y'all. So you know we all see Vince McMahon on TV and his personality. He's got the business side. How was he off the screens? Like how working with him?
I don't know. I don't know that I ever seen Vince McMahon when he was totally turned off. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And he's always presenting something, you know.
Well, you know,
he has to.
Yeah, I just did a talk show a while back with this young guy that just got fired by WWE. And he's like, that Vince McMahon, he treats us like pieces of meat. I'm like, well, young guy, what the devil you think you are?
Yeah.
You want a friend, go buy a puppy. You know, Vince is your boss. He's not your friend. And to make it in this business, you got to work for the guy. But people that look to him to be a friend, you know, most folks don't look at their boss as a friend. You know, you work for the man.
I don't know many billionaires that have a lot of friends. They just buy new ones.
The guy's a workaholic. I mean, he's one of the first guys at the building and one of the last guys to leave.
He literally put 18 to 20 hours a day into
he works hard.
Yeah.
Is anyone ever still mad at you for having been bit by your snake? Like,
Yes.
is anyone?
Yes.
Who's still holding a grudge?
My ex-wives.
Besides 2 to 3 of your ex-wives.
Just grab a program with a roster.
There was a referee that got bit in the face. He was quite upset about it. It wasn't my fault.
Okay, so this is for both of you. What's your thought on independent wrestling?
What do I think of it?
Yes.
It's a great thing, man.
Independent wrestling? It's great. A lot of folks have never been to an indie show. You should check it out. They're usually high school gyms, National Guard armories.
You gotta start somewhere, guys.
Yeah, and there's some of the guys, and they're all working. The guys go out there and they bust their back trying to entertain the people, and just on the hopes that you get the opportunity to move up. So, yeah, I enjoy doing the indie show. But I joke, I said all the kids I wrestle on the indie shows now, they're all 6'5", 300 pounds, 25 years old. They're like, Mr. Duggan, are we on TV tonight? I'm like, I hope not, son. I'm
begging for my life. Yes.
I met you guys both yesterday. Thank you so much for everything.
You came back for more?
Yes, sir.
Slow.
A little bit. Who was your favorite person to travel with?
Aww.
Travel together a lot, right?
Soft side of wrestling.
Well, you know, of course, you know, back a while when I first started with the WWF, I got there, you know, it's a huge day of TV. It lasts all day long. They do 2-3 shows. They got TV trucks, limousines, buses everywhere. So I was on the first
70 or 80 wrestlers.
Yeah, I did the first show, you know, I'm sitting in the back and Jake comes up to me, goes, Duggan, you done? I said, yeah, I was on the first match. He goes, well, let's go. I'm like, no, we can't leave, brother. It's my first day here. I can't leave. I got to wait till the end of the show. He goes, no, come on, no problem. Let's go. So boom, we're in the car. We're driving. We're about a half hour down the road. Jake looks over and goes, man, I can't believe you left TV on your first day. I'm like, brother, you told me it was okay.
No way I do that, man. I like working up here.
So I got to tell him to come back. So a couple weeks later, we were at the Rosemont Horizon.
Oh, this
in Chicago, a big arena. We were late leaving. It was Jake and I. And There's this whole bank of doors. We opened the doors, and there's like 200 people out there. Ah! And you can see the limo on the far side of the people, so we pull the door closed. Jake and I are like, what are we going to do? He goes, what are you going to do, hacker? I said, Jake, 1, 2, 3, we'll open the door, we'll fight through the people, I'll meet you at the limo. He goes, I'm with you, brother. Okay, boom, 1, 2.
Whoa. I've got my luggage and a 100-pound steak. Somebody else has a 3-ounce 2x4 and 1 pair of tights. That's it.
Okay, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, we open the door, Jake goes out. I pulled the door closed behind him. I gave him about a 5 count. I snuck out. Nobody even saw me. Sitting in the limousine waiting for Jake.
Yeah, sipping wine. Listening to opera.
You're good, yeah. Let's talk right into it.
All right, this is a question for both of y'all. Which did you guys enjoy being more, a heel or a face?
Heel.
Face, yeah. Heel, in our terminology, heel's a bad guy, face is a good guy. Yeah. And of course, like I said, usually you're an extension of your personality, so heel, face.
I don't get that.
You will.
The reason I like being a heel was there were no boundaries. Not for me, anyway. All right.
I have a question.
This is the last question for me.
Okay.
I gotta go check my snake.
All right. How chaotic was it for y'all to be inside of a Royal?
Do what now?
How chaotic was it for you guys to be inside a Royal Rumble match with all those people in there? And was it? Yeah. How was
insane.
Good question.
You know, they're so dangerous.
They are dangerous.
You know, you got guys that weigh 300 pounds flying around and not controlling their bodies in any way. So if you got 2 guys that decide, hey, I'll meet you over in that spot right there, and there happens to be 6 of you that land there, you got a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of injuries happen in Royal Rumbles and stuff. And, you know, knee
falling
injuries.
on each other and stuff, yeah. But as for mechanics, though, it's a relatively easy match, you know, because you just got to know who goes out before you, and then who throws you out. So if I know Jake goes out before me, I'm fighting, I see Jake go out, I find out you're going to throw me out, I come over to you, okay, my turn. So it's relatively easy.
Okay.
Take that off camera.
We can't take that part off.
I've got to go.
Yeah, you gotta go? He's gotta take care of his snake, folks. All right, everybody, that was the WWE Superstar Battle with Jake the Snake and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You guys are wonderful.
She's a nice girl.
I tell you what, you guys that are in here, if you come by the table, I'll knock 50% off all my t-shirts. Okay.
You got one left.
I got one clean one left.
Thanks, folks. Thanks very much.